Alright guys, here we're going to try and solve the problem 1/4 x plus 1/3 equals 11/24. I'm going to start by just recopying the problem. And you'll notice here we've got a situation where we have our x term plus a constant. I'm going to put a box here around my x term, equaling, over on the right, a constant. And I'm going to circle that. So what we really want to do is get rid of this constant here, this 1/3. What would we use to do that? Our A.Inv step. But we run into a problem, because if we want to take the additive inverse of 1/3 and add that to both sides here, we don't have a common denominator yet between these two fractions. So before we can do A.Inv, we're going to have to do FCD. We're going to have to find a common denominator of 1/3 and 11/24. Now this is a situation where a common denominator is pretty easy to get to. If we notice here, our bigger denominator 24 is actually a multiple of our smaller denominator 3. So we only need to raise this fraction. So I'm going to do FCD of 1/3 and 11/24. And our common denominator here is 24, because we can raise this fraction up by 8 to get this fraction to get a denominator of 24. So I'm going to multiply the top by 8, multiply the bottom by 8, and our new equation here is 1/4 x plus 8 over 24 equals 11/24. And now we can just take the additive inverse A.Inv of 8/24, which is of course negative 8/24. We've got to add that to both sides. Over here, that just cancels, and we're left with 1/4 x equals 11 plus negative 8. That's 3/24. And here we can actually simplify this fraction because it's not in lowest terms. We're going to reduce that by 3, and we'll end up with 1/4 x equals 1/8. We wouldn't always be able to simplify here, only if we're not in lowest terms. So now we've got our x term here equaling constant, but we don't just have x by itself, we have this coefficient of 1/4. So we got to get rid of that fraction as a coefficient. We're going to take the multiplicative inverse of 1/4, which of course is 4/1, and we're going to multiply that by both sides of our equation. On the left side of the equation, just cancels, and we're left with x equals, and if we notice on our right side here, we can cross cancel. 8 and 4 both have 4 as a factor. 8 is 4 times 2, and 4 is 4 times 1, and so our result is 1 times 1 for our new numerator, and 2 times 1 for our new denominator, and we get a final answer there of x equaling 1/2. So that's how we do this type of problem, where we have to do FCD before we can do our additive inverse step. Alright guys, I'll see you later.